Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable Examiner of this final assignment examinations, good morning. Well, first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Supiyah. I'm from English Education Department at Radin State Islamic University, Lampung. Thank you for the opportunity that given to me present my final assignment with the title, The Effectiveness of Using Total Physical Response Method Towards Student Vocabulary Mastery to the 8th grade Student Motivation in Learning English as SMP Negeri 1 Tirtayasa in the academic year 2022 or 2023. Well, first, I will explain about background of the problem in this research. English is an international language used to communicate around the world. As an international language, one must be required to master English because most people around the world communicate with each other using English. In Indonesia, placing English as a foreign language, the use of English in Indonesia is still very low. Basically, in junior high school, students have learned the skill and component of the language. In addition, at SMP Negeri 1 Tirtayasa, students have low motivation in learning English. Students lack confidence in pronouncing language vocabulary. And also, students often have difficulty to learn to matter English vocabulary. Learning English has relevant to learning and the skill, the component of the language. Language skill include listening, speaking, reading, and writing, but while the language component are vocabulary, spelling, pronunciations, and grammar. The procedure of learning a foreign language is very dependent on vocabulary, knowledge, and the ability to understand target language. Okay, the next about identification of the problem. Identification of the problem in this research, the first is the low motivations of students in mastering English vocabulary. At the second, student lack confidence in the pronunciation word. At the third, students often have difficulty learning to master words that are bored in learning English. At the fourth, the teacher teaches with a monotonous method. The next is limitation of the problem. Researchers limit the material focused on noun, adjectives, and verb about enable and things. This is in accordance with the syllabus for SMP and teach at the first semester of the 8th grade student grade of SMP Negeri 1 Tirtayasa in the academic year 2022 or 2023. The formulation of the problem is the significant effect of using the total physical response method towards student vocabulary mastery on the student motivation in learning English in the 8th grade at SMP Negeri 1 Tirtayasa in the academic year 2022 or 2023. The objective of the research, the purpose of this research was to determine whether there was an effect of using total physical response method towards student vocabulary mastery or the student learning motivation. Okay, the next chapter 2, literature review. According to Nettinger, vocabulary is one of the linguistic components of the most involved in the process of learning English. Students have to reach their own vocabulary to master vocabulary one must move with vocabulary comprehension to remember and understand words and store them to commit memorize. Total physical response or TPR, developed by James Asher, the professor of psychology at San Jose State University, California, USA, to help in learning a foreign language. According to Harvey, study the vocabulary as a quantity of the word which rule for both words together later to make language. According to Heber and Camille, state the vocabulary is a combination of words that we know. Okay, the next chapter 3. Methodology research. Research design. The study used an experimental design with quantitative approach. The population, the 8th grade student of SMP Negeri 1 Tirtayasa, at a sample of 56 students include class 8A and 8B. The data collection technique used test the experimental class and control class. The test is used to determine how effective the use of TPR method it is used in vocabulary teaching. This test is applied in experiment and control class to determine students' achievement score in vocabulary mastery. It was done at the end of the meeting, and it was the comparison between experimental class and control class. Okay, I think that's all for me. Thank you for your attention, and the last I say wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.